G. You're watching DHG Industries. Today, I'm playing Fallout. Mr. Matty Plays is the channel that I watch for my Fallout news or Bethesda news in general. And he was able to go to this event at the Greenbrier Hotel that Bethesda threw out in West Virginia to promote Fallout 76. And so he's been talking a lot about what he experienced in the 3 hours he was able to play the game, and then he did, he's been doing a lot of stuff. He even did this podcast thing where with him and two other guys, don't remember your names, sorry gentlemen. Him and two other guys talked about their experience and the gameplay and everything, because they all went to the event. So, like I said, playing Fallout because, in less than a month I'll be able to play the beta, and then Fallout 76 comes out in November. So I am playing a very hard, basically one level below survival playthrough. I do have mods on, but none of them have anything to do with my perk points, experience, or anything like that, as far as I know. And they're mainly cosmetic, or like I've got Ellie's fixes and patches, where she balances things and makes things a little bit more playable or realistic, tweaks and fixes. These are not active. These two are not active at all, hence there's no check marks next to them. But yeah, see, it increases your defense score a little bit. It triples the amount of resources you get from things, stuff like that. It doesn't do anything to bolster my character. This one, it literally just takes grass and shit out. So this one just keeps the Radiant quest. Like in this playthrough, I'm gonna play for the Brotherhood. So the Brotherhood's I don't remember her name. Halen, her rank I don't remember, but Halen out at the Cambridge police station. She can keep giving you like fetch it quests for experience, and this will keep her quests in the Commonwealth instead of allowing her to like send me to Far Harbor or to Nuka World. So that since I am playing a very hard playthrough, I don't want to push basically to try to get the quest done or have to wait. Pardon my yawning. This is just a sorter so that the tools go directly into my miscellaneous, so the Mama Murphy looks normal there. And then this is the only truly cheat sheet thing that I've got, I believe, and this is basically gives me special radios. Hey, other Derek, gives me special radios so that I don't have to do as much work to make settlements happy with me. And then this allows me to lockpick and use and hack terminals quicker. So no experience or any other boosts, I turn those off. So what I truly wanted to show you guys was the build that I'm doing for Sanctuary this time. And it's done. I mean, it's completely done. And I've got my little hangout area over here like normal, and then all their stuff is powered or set up. I have some of the Creation Club content on. Mainly, I have the one of the dog skins, and then hence the doghouse, because I'm going to send the original dog here. And then there's the Noir Penthouse, which I just got today. Looked really cool. The concept is really cool, but I'm not gonna use it. So I'm gonna take it off soon. But I love the fact that Eleonora came up with the bunk beds, because it has made my building so much easier, because I can, I don't have to build as huge. to get everything put together. So everything's prepped for the sanctuary people. Okay. That's not a mod. That's not necessarily a mod, I should say. I guess you could label it as somebody could label it as a mod in order to let people download, but all that really is you know, downloading the installs for the add-ons. Oh wait, I wanted to see if I had the. I'm gonna have to wait. I didn't put any resource mods on, so it's taking me forever to build up my weapons. I have no idea how that would happen. Because Cheat Terminal is on the Bethesda.net still have to save up more leather. Okay. Yeah, that is really, really strange. It shouldn't work at all if you didn't have the DLC already installed. Huh. What? I moved these. They were over here where the tire is. I have to move these farther. See, I don't want them to reset again. It's funny that you can carry this huge ass human body and then you go and you try to pick up the dog and it tells you that it's, you know, too heavy for you. Alright. I learned this from online on YouTube. I don't remember the YouTuber that I learned it with, but I learned that any skeletons or bug bodies or anything like that don't go away, you can just grab like some kind of object, in this case the tire, and you can move them. Why am I doing this? I can fast travel to frickin' Diamond City. But yeah, there's the Noor penthouse on the map. It's literally right next to Swan's Lake in the campus commons. Yeah, a lot of people said that, and then when they released Nuka World, everybody liked that one because Nuka World is actually for storyline and everything, it's pretty long.
Don't move, Sam. What have you done with the real Riley? Where's my brother? I swear I'm not a... Hey. Kyle, no!
Okay, show's over. There are no synths in Diamond City. Hear me? Just you folks and your damn paranoia. At least someone in this town did more than just stand and gawk. Nice shot. But I'm gonna have to ask you to step back. Got a mess to clean up.
I understand, officer. I just want to know what happened.
What, you didn't hear the shouting? Guy pulls a gun on his own brother, thinking he's a synth. It's that newspaper's fault. Got people all riled up, thinking their own family might be replaced by machines. Look, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. He is. But, like, unless you shoot him, or you find... I can't remember, there was like a certain thing you could find that tells you... you never know. I didn't know him or any of the others were synths until I watched videos on YouTube, because I never bothered to try to kill any of them or, you know, anything like that, so... It's just like by the time I get around to helping
everyone's attention.
Helping rescue Vadim,
Subject that is on everyone's mind. And that is the disgusting article.
Oh god, the guy from the radio. I can't remember his name right now. He always survives the encounter to go and save Vadim. So I've never had the experience personally of having the kid, the Kowalski, from the water treatment area. I've never had the experience of hearing him on Diamond City Radio as the DJ, because that's what happens if dude gets killed during that rescue mission.
Education for every citizen. And while the paper might point their fingers at synths and other ghost stories to drive us apart, we will not betray this sacred trust. Now,
I thought my voice was done changing, but it's getting lower again.
I am not a synth. I am the same flesh and blood boy who grew up on these streets, who was born in a shack just down the waterfront to Martha and Patrick McDonough. And I will not abandon my city due to the heinous allegations of the press. God bless this city. God bless the law.
Shit.
What level is your character?
Everyone else may be closed, but Diamond City Surplus is open 24 hours a day.
Let's see what you got.
Anything and everything.
Okay, how long do you listen to the broadcast? Because sometimes you have to listen to it for quite a while before it picks up the quest. Okay, then yeah. Not gonna work. Yeah, because I've had times where I thought it wasn't gonna start, and then it did. If just waiting for a little while longer. Well, some of them you don't get. Man, yeah, that mod really screwed your game, because the Nuka World stuff isn't supposed to unlock until you've actually gone to Nuka World and played through the storyline. Yeah, whatever that's done has borked your game, man. You're lucky it hasn't like stopped, like, you know, has like corrupt your save files or whatever, dude. No, I can take the moot fruit over to Grey Garden and sell it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But if you look at it from if you look at the whole situation, like seriously, if you look at the whole situation, what Dima did, while technically bad, but was also technically good, because if he hadn't have replaced the leader of the Children of Adam, and the Far Harbor people, then the whole island would have been either decimated or just freaking hostile as hell. By doing what he did, he actually kept peace until you showed up. Well, relative peace, I should say, until you showed up. And then you made the final decision that he couldn't do. He couldn't bring himself to eradicate either one of them or all of them to make his people safe. So it was one of those like bad but good situations. It's, you know, it's so freaking bizarre. I hated those puzzles though, the environmental puzzles to get to those memories. Just fucking, I hated it. So I usually look up how to do it. I usually look it up, or either in my my guide, or I get a mod that Eleonora made that makes it so you can skip them. So. I just don't like to do them in general. It's not that the only ones that are really hard, like you said, are the last two. But like, I didn't want to have to deal with it at all. I was just after a while, because it's just like, what's the point? I mean, seriously, what's the point? Is this what? Are they trying to tell us this is what it looks like when the chick at the memory den does it? You know, during the whole Nick and stuff like that? No. Yeah, so like, I would have understood if what you were experiencing was kind of like the memory den, right? Where when you go into Kellogg's memories, but they didn't even make it like that. And so it's like, it was like, if you say they did it like the memory den, but when you go into the memory, after it plays through, the people in it become hostile or whatever, that kind of thing, to where you had to, like, fight your way through or whatever to get to the next area. That would have been fine. But this cyber thing, where it was like halfway Tron, halfway just, I don't know what to really call it, it was just unneeded. It's like they just added it to add like, extra time to what was going on. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do... See, I've done a build before. Yeah, that's what I was saying, that they added it to... That it seems like they might have added it just to extend time. I've actually built, like a one-story house up on one of these, up top of one of these, and then put the teleport into the house along with everything else, so that the residents don't get ideas about using my workbenches or my bed. But I don't know if I want to do that here, or if I just want to build out at, like, someplace else. I wish you could completely clear out Outpost Zamora and build there, but they made it so you could only delete certain things, which was that was so fucking retarded. The highest area in the map to build up, smallest postage stamp size, and then they make it so most of the stuff on the ground you can't get rid of, so you end up having to, like, break immersion and build where it wouldn't normally be supported if you want something that's all yours. And then, to help with the immersion, you can just, Oh yeah, I've had that before, but it still doesn't scrap everything at Outpost Zamora. Because there's some that they just could not get to do. Because you have to work within the modding kit, the tools. Well, I guess I could, take a swim and go to Spectacle Island, but I really don't want to do it with going all the way out there. That takes forever, and at my level, it's also very, very dangerous. I picked Synths and Far Harbor because if you get rid of the Children of Adam, which I blew them up with their own nuke, which was basically giving them what they wanted, making them one with Adam and everything. Anyway, but no matter how I justified it, I blew them up, and then Far Harbor and the Synths were starting to be friendly with each other. And, well, if you listen to the actual message of their church in Fallout 3, and then, if you listen to you listen to them here in Fallout 4, when you go into the, where the nuke impacted, I can't remember what it's called in the game. Anyway, oh right, Glowing Sea. If you go into the Glowing Sea to where they are at the impact site, and you listen to their talk and their speeches and everything like that, their whole goal is to either become a glowing one, so they're forever both with Adam, but you know, able to still spread his word, or to die from radiation poisoning, or to get blown up. And I know that the children of Adam have been around for a long time, but it's a fucking crazy concept to me. I'm gonna build up here. Make my life a whole lot easier so I don't have to worry about doing other things. Okay. Oh, come on. Really? Really? Yeah, he is. That's what I was talking about how they established the how crazy their mission is, and that's why I couldn't put the floor down. Okay. All right. So we'll do porch, and let's see. Okay, that's going into the house a little too much. Storing. Okay. I go like that, and maybe try to straighten a little bit. I'm trying to play this as vanilla as I can. If I was gonna get hardcore cheat, then I would have done I would have turned on my increased XP and 70 special points at start instead of how I'm playing. But I want to try and like not use cheats for right now. Okay. Even if it will take me a while to, like, you know, say build my place or you know, whatever, you know. I played survival, but survival on Fallout. Okay. Playing survival in Fallout 4 will be different than playing Fallout 76, so I'm not worried about, you know, doing that for right now. Get the door put in. Yeah! I already have it pre-ordered. There are no human NPCs in the game at all currently, as far as I know. There are robot ones that you can interact with, and then of course there are ghouls and the Scorched, which are a ghoul variant. It's where they look like they've got kryptonite all over their bodies. Really, is what it looks like to me. Anyway, I've never Maddie from Mr. Maddie Plays and a couple other people have said that there are no raiders in the game unless they're dead. And all of the gameplay for the 3-hour YouTubers that have been uploaded, none of them show any none of them show any NPCs. I don't know what you saw. I can try Googling it and see if I can find it as well. But unless it's like other people who are playing as well being raiders, I haven't seen anything. That's what I'm just saying, is I haven't seen it in any of the gameplay things that I was watching. I don't know, he's just sitting in the middle of the living room barking and whining at me. I don't know what he wants. My mom was yelling about the dog because he's, like I said, like I told her, he was barking, whining at me. Anyway, people have to take this game with a open mind, because everything that I've read is that they're gonna put you, because the gameplay that that we've seen that was released from the press going to the Greenbrier for that event was small groups of people. Bethesda has said that each server is gonna have, like, I think they said like 32, 34 people, something like that. And so it won't be just like a handful of people per map. It will be that you might not run into people a lot unless you've pre-planned or they track you down on purpose or whatever. But to me, that's not going to be boring. That's not going to be horrible. And it is possible to play the game solo by yourself, not grouping up with other people to play together or raid together. It just will take longer to get to be able to go to each area on the map, because you'll have to grind your levels and your equipment up and everything before you can move forward. And I play to give perspective of why I have this opinion is I've played this game called The Forest. It's going to be coming on the PS4 soon, but I played it on PC, and I play it on peaceful mode, which means that there are no NPCs on the map. Enemies or not. It's just you, the environment, and the animals. And there's only, like, I think 2 animals that are hostile to you, and that's the boar and the crocodiles. So, and I don't find that boring. I find it peaceful. So, yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to 76, because it will allow me to play with my friend Jack on PS4 and play Fallout together, and we'll be able to group up and do things and help each other out. And it will also give me the game to play on my own when he's not on. Like I kind of wish it came out this month, because Jack's busy doing this D&D thing that with his friend Will, and so he's going to be playing D&D every day except for on the weekends for the entire month of October to do this official event to get these things. I guess they're called candy corn or something like that, and they can trade them in to get items that are only available there. Dungeons and Dragons. It's a tabletop RPG. Instead of the RPG being, you know, like a video game, it's done with paper, pencil, dice, books, and imagination. Dungeons and Dragons has been around since before video games were. It was invented in, invented and then made public in the 70s. And the very first console was in the late 70s, early 80s, and that was the Atari. You know, Pong, Joust, stuff like that. And then the NES didn't come around until the mid 80s. I used to play D&D. But it requires at least 2 to 3 or more people to play, and it's not too popular in my area anymore. So yeah, that's why there's video games for the consoles and stuff. Yeah, but that's why there's D&Ds. Like there's the D&D game here on PS4 that's free to play called Neverwinter. And that's based on the plots and the characters and stuff like that in the book, tabletop books. And then Cyberpunk 2077 is actually based on another tabletop RPG like D&D called Cyberpunk 2022 or something like that. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, that's where that's where a lot of the RPG concepts come from, is people who are now adults who grew up playing tabletop RPGs and reading books like The Hobbit and stuff like that. Anyway, apparently the dogs need to go outside, so I will be right back. I'm going to mute my microphone while I'm gone, and I will hopefully see you when I get back. Alright guys, I am back, and I'm not sitting in the chair just yet. I needed to turn the kitchen light off. I took the dogs out, and then I helped my mom start a pot of coffee for herself. I don't really drink coffee much. And then usually in the morning sometimes, especially in the winter. Anyway, and now I'm fixing my chair so that I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the night. Anyway, so here I am in my chair again, or back in the saddle again, as if you want to be all cowboy up about it. Alright, that's right, I gotta put, oh, pardon me. I gotta put doors in. Go. Doorways, I should say, and now doors. Because I gotta go to the actual door section. Let's do the other door first. Nah. Yeah, do that one here, and then we'll do one that is solid there. Okay, so just in case you guys are curious, front porch. This will be the front porch. It's also where the teleport is going to be moved to. And then this will be the workroom, where I'll have all of the different workshop benches in here. This will be what I call the display room. So like I'll put mannequins or or other things like the heavy weapon things in this section, and then a couple other mannequins will be over here because you know, Grognak's costume and axe, and then Kellogg's outfit and gun will be on display, and then I'll have some more weapon racks. My bobblehead wall thing will go over here in the work area. And then of course this will be the bedroom. This is where I'll have like a dresser here. This will be wall to wall, you know, floor to ceiling I should say, and then wall to wall glass. And I ran out of glass once I made this wall, so I have to save up some more to do that. But the bed will be over here, and I'm gonna do my new thing that I discovered, where I'm gonna put it on an angle at the corner, and then I put the Vault Boy statue behind the headboard. And then I'm going to try to also put the Gragnock video game or arcade thing right here, and but I have to download the Creation Club content for that. I haven't done that yet. But yeah, that's my ultimate plan. This is why this is built this way. The reason why I didn't do just floor to ceiling glass for all of the walls is because truthfully you don't really need it, except for really in the bedroom, to kind of like give the illusion of a spacious, awesome view from, you know, like laying in bed, you know, waking up in the morning and seeing that view. Wouldn't that be pretty? I think it would be pretty. It would be even more pretty if I removed the white picket fence down there, so like when you wake up and you're like, and you're like, you barely see any of the devastation, you know, right away. I mean, it's kind of cool. Anyway, That's why I like building it that way. And then doing it so that I go directly to the porch is got two different pluses. One, so because it's right here, I can look down and see if Trash Can Carla is here to trade with. If she is, I can jump over the fence I'm going to put up, and then fast travel back to my porch. And then if she's not there, if I don't need to trade at this moment, I can just a lot of times I'm overburdened when I get here, or whatever, and I can just go over here. Now, what's also cool is if I'm overburdened and I can't fast travel, I have to like slow walk here from wherever I'm at, I can just go to the workbench that's underneath me, and put all of the junk away, and that'll usually completely lighten my load, and I can then fast travel upstairs to come into my little condo here. I am really looking forward to playing 76 because of just the potential of building, and it's oh man, I building, exploring, having to actually like look around you and take in everything and really dig in. It just is massively appealing to me. The reason why I'm not doing that, putting anything there, is because I'm going to do this temporarily, so that I can bring the workbenches, the workshop benches and stuff up into the house, without it being a huge chore. Until I can upgrade this to the stove, I'll just put it right here. It'll also make it easier if I'm overburdened to just go over to the cooking station and use that to unload my junk. And then this goes over here. And I gotta make the... oh, shit. Hold on. It's easier on everybody if you close the door before you switch sides. And why did it do that? I hate you. There. And that'll make it so I can put the armor bench here. Because it makes more sense to do that to me, since in real life you would need lots of light for that. So if you have overhead lights and you also have, in the daytime you have sunlight, it makes it easier to work on what you're working on. And yes, I know this is not real life. I just like doing it this way. It just makes the most logic to me. I'm very analytical. Leave me alone. Alright, so armor workbench. Trying to straighten it up against the wall as much as I can. Woohoo! Alright. Now I'm actually gonna go and get the power armor stand, station, whatever, before I do anything else, because I need to know how much space I'm gonna have wherever to put my chem station. So there we go. Makes it easier on my brain. I can delete that. I should probably move this before I forget, because it does happen. Okay, show it there. And then I'll also like massively decorate the entrance, and then along the walls and stuff as well. So I'm actually gonna put this here for now until I can upgrade. When I upgrade, I'll probably switch some things around because I like the L-shaped chem station better. You know, the lab bench, table, however you want to put it. Alright. Thank you, Bethesda, for making things that are stacked movable. Alright. So for right now, until I really get decorating in here, put that there. Because I'm not going to really super start decorating all up in here until I get that fixed. I will add a bed in the workshop area for when I need to wait or heal, but it'll be moved into the bedroom once I get the window walls put in. Which I know it'll still rain inside, but I like my little illusions or how you put it, my little like self-delusions and immersions to a fictional game. Leave me alone. Anyway, I know I'm goofing. Alright, so for right now, I'll just put the bed in here. Like, I like to give a little bit of space in front. Because when I move it, there'll be a console bench going in front of it instead of there being a floor safe, and that's what I put all of my what I call my precious items in it, like the high honey and the wedding rings and, you know, sentimental stuff for the character goes in there. And then in this room, probably actually over here, if it doesn't bother the doorway too much, I'll probably put a filing cabinet, and that's I'll put a filing cabinet. I just don't know if it's gonna go there or not. Welcome back. And then I'll put all the magazines and video game cartridges in there. Okay. I also have to do I have the materials to do it now? To find out. I have to put in the radiation arch too. Yeah, decontamination arch. I need 3 more fiber optic, and I'll put it right there in front of the door. And I'll probably put like a street lamp and hook it up. No. But I don't know what that means. I do not do text speak, so I have no idea how that little bit there is supposed to be pronounced. Glass for the radio. Oh, right, I have to take that. I had hit. I thought I had hit that. There we go. Sometimes you'll still find them in here, but it's much rarer if you build it with no accesses than if you have stairs. I really wish Bethesda had thought this out with the NPCs anyway, on allowing them to use your workbenches and not being able to designate your own bed. Because if they had put that in, I hope they put it in 5. But if they had put it in this game, it would made my little like OCD much easier to handle. Yeah, people really like having a very well lined evil good thing. And I don't know, I kind of liked the way this was. I mean, yeah, I did miss the little bit of the karma thing myself, but because that's what I like about 3 and New Vegas, and it's also what I like about Mass Effect trilogy, the original trilogy. No, I'm good though, bro. I'm played modded and everything. No, I'm gonna keep going over here. Yeah, it did get all the way out here, Ma. Hello, Ducky. Yeah, and then I took his ball and threw it down the hallway. I don't know, I would have to, the only mod that I'm super looking forward to... No, I haven't been to Ben's Peeping Hole yet. No, but the only mod that I'm, Fallout 4 mod that I'm really looking forward to is Fallout Miami, and that's still in production. They're still creating it. And that one I'll have to get on my PC. Because it won't be available on console. Yeah. Well, I have Fallout 4 on PC as well. I just don't play PC games as often. I have The Forest, I have Fallout 4, I have Civilization, Beyond Earth. I have quite a few computer games. I had heard about it, but I never got a chance to really look at it, and then I heard something about how it was canceled or something. I think. So I'm not talking or babbling as much. Well, yeah. Well, it's just like with the remake of Knights of the Old Republic, which just got shut down. If you're reusing their intellectual
Won't be able to
property,
pick this.
just upgrading the graphics or the gameplay or whatever, then it's considered in violation of copyright. If it's a mod like Fallout Miami is, where it uses all the resources, adds more, and it just adds on to a game that they've, like Fallout, then it's more of a gray area where, yeah, it's just in like an homage. You're not trying to show them up or make money off of it in any way. Technically speaking, and this is what people don't get, because we've become spoiled. So technically speaking, every piece of fanfic, every drawing that is done, every anything that uses the intellectual property of somebody else, whether it's the from the Rugrats to Fallout, could technically be skirting copyright law and be illegal. What the people have allowed, though, is to create derivative works, basically, inspired by, and they've made it a gray area, but they could technically shut it all down if they really wanted to. I think it's great that they don't, because it's they don't shut it all down, because it's great advertising. It keeps the fandom and the community together and alive, and expecting good things, or spreading the love of that specific fandom with other people. Like, there's still people writing Harry Potter fanfic to this day. There's still people writing True Blood fanfic. There's still people writing Xena stuff. And Xena hasn't been on the air in 20 years, roughly. So it allows for things to be shared, and to never completely die off. It makes it easier for the fans to connect and everything, especially with the internet. Can you imagine what it was like to be an original Star Trek fan? Yeah, I know that would be great too. But the premise of the Fallout games is the American perspective. They could potentially, because they were in the Great War that caused all of this, they were mainly focusing on China. Because they annexed Canada and Mexico, and then I think China annexed most of the rest of the world, from what I remember from clips and stuff. But I had talked about Jack, because you meet that one Chinese guy. Yeah, General Zhao. You've met him, and he's, as far as I can remember, because of course I didn't play the first 2 games. I didn't start playing the Fallout franchise until 3, but as far as I know, he's the first Chinese anything that you've met that is not hostile to you. So it would be interesting to see perspective. But we also talked about another avenue that Bethesda hasn't mentioned of going down, is playing somebody that was around pre-war, not just like Fallout 4, but like, someone that actually survived the bombs and slowly transformed into a ghoul. Play their pre-war life a little bit, up to the bombs dropping, and then maybe skip a little bit, so you don't actually have to do anything but do a little cinematic of time jumps, showing the face going from what you created to a ghoulified version of it. And since ghouls, there have been some ghouls that have kept their hair, because there was one in 3 that did. You can choose to keep your hair, you can, all that stuff, but you can't change anything else. And then you play as a ghoul during the time period, whatever time period that they want to play in. Um, and I thought that would be pretty cool, you know, even if we did play through the ghoulification and stuff, because it would be kind of like 76, but we could be played it as a single player game. The concept could be, um, at least to me, because since they annexed Canada and they annexed Mexico and everything, potentially you could play a ghoul from the Canadian part of America, or you could play a ghoul from the Mexican part of America, and they could set it so that, you know, some of the Spanish culture lived on, and you can like run into a pack of ghouls that intelligent ghouls, not ferals, that embrace the whole Day of the Dead thing, and they wear the makeup and the, you know, you can do the whole thing. There's so many different concepts that are there that even with even the loosest sense of the lore you could go to and do. I saw a discussion. I saw a discussion by Maddie and them where they talk about the vertibirds that appeared in 76 and were flying around, and they were like, you know, because vertibirds weren't supposed to be around, you know, pre-war, blah 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 blah, except for in Fallout 4. I don't know why they didn't remember this, but in Fallout 4, right at the beginning when you're going into Vault 111, a vertibird is landing at your location. So, you know, and there's at least, what, 3 or 4 crashed ones that you find other than that one in the game that were there since the bombs fell. So I don't know why they found it so lore breaking that the vertibirds were up and flying around as vertibots or whatever you want to call them. But it's not lore breaking at all. It's just like the super mutant thing is not lore breaking at all, because there's known to be at least 2 vaults from Vault-Tec that were specifically there to test the FEV. You find one in 3, you find one in New Vegas where they tested it on plants, and then you find one in one of the other either 1 or 2, I think it's 2. You find one in that one with the master and all that stuff in California, so it had to have been probably the first one. But, you know, so there was FEV vaults all over America. So having super mutants in 76 was not lore breaking at all, because FE mutates very quickly. I mean, 4 is an example, because you find that rogue scientist that's only been gone for a little while from the Institute, and he was a fully formed large super mutant when you run into him. Admittedly, that's probably a slightly altered strain of EVV, but it's well-known lore that super mutants breed by grabbing humans and dragging them back, and that the bigger that they are, the older that they are. But they always start out fairly huge anyway. The behemoths are super mutants from the beginning of the time from the bombs fell until now. So, you know, the mutants that you fight in 76 are completely plausible, because some of those guys probably turned into the behemoths that we see around the Capital Wasteland and New Vegas and 4. You know, so because they migrate. So everything that I've seen that everybody screams, it's lore breaking, it's lore breaking, it's lore breaking. I'm like, it can be plausible just from the established canon from 3 to now. So I don't know. What, Taki? Eat the fucking cookie. Eat it. What is that, a cashew? Give me this. Give me whatever you have in your mouth. There's a rumor that you can be, that people are that people can go either way with it. I mean, it would make sense, because why give like if you kill father, like if you side with the Railroad or the Brotherhood of Steel, or even with the Minutemen, and you blow up the Institute, you get Synth Sean, right? I mean, if you're gonna play pure Brotherhood, you won't take him, but you get Synth Sean. And why would he give you a son that's never gonna age? Because as far as we can tell, they don't age. Okay? He's never gonna age. He's always going to be his son. You know, basically he's gonna live forever. Unless you shut him down. Why do that unless you guaranteed that the boy's father was going to be around forever? I mean, who wants to get stuck in a kid's body? I mean, look what happened in Interview with the Vampire, both the book and the movie, with Claudia. She went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, man. Being stuck in a kid's body forever, not being able to do the things that they know was normal for the people their intellectual age, you know. So it's entirely possible that he is, or she is, depending on which gender you choose. It's completely plausible for the parent to be a synth, especially since everybody else in the vault is dead from suffocating. Because if Father really released you remotely, there was no guarantee that your pod would open. There's no guarantee that even if he did open, you would be alive, because they unfroze you and then froze you again while you were upset. You know, people, you know, there's all sorts of science with the whole, like, cryo freezing, but even if they did perfect it to the point where it shows in Fallout 4, it would be a trauma for the body coming back out of it. You'd be disoriented, you'd be groggy, you wouldn't be able to breathe very well. You'd probably be hypothermic. You know, a little bit. Your body would basically be in shock. So they basically unfroze you, killed your wife, and stole your kid in front of you while you're still recovering from all this crap, and then refroze you. So there's all sorts of different possibilities if you look at it, you know, logically. But who knows, right? The only way to really prove either way would be to either allow your character to father children or give birth. Would be the only thing to really prove that you're a synth, other than somebody killing you and finding a component in your head. Hello, Ducky. You're just gonna chill up here with me? Yeah? Okay. The Enclave doesn't exist. They did not take into account all the different playthroughs for 3. Because if you played on the side of the Brotherhood of Steel in 3, then you destroyed the Enclave at Black Mountain. Or is it Raven Rock? Raven Rock. You destroy them, and that basically takes out all of the head or bigwigs of the Enclave. It takes them all out. You take out the AI that was directing them, seemingly from the beginning, and all of the bigwigs all at once. So technically speaking, if they went with that ending, which was the most common ending played, there is no Enclave. At least not in any major powerful gaming, you know, force in the United States. Because this is set about 10 years after. Yeah, it's assumed, other than the ghoul in Vault 88 for the for the DLC, the Vault-Tec DLC, that most, if not all, of the Vault-Tec people died. You kill one of them yourself, and that's Stanislaw Braun. I think the doctor who came up with a lot of the tech that they used for Vault-Tec. And he kidnapped in 3. He technically traps your father in a VR with him, and if you play the good guy, then you summon the Chinese army to come in and kill everybody, to leave him alone. So basically, you're as good as killed him, because his body's so old that he can't leave the VR and survive. And you save your dad and yourself by doing it. So, yeah, as far as I know, most of the Vault-Tec people have died, or if there was original Vault-Tec people, their descendants are now in control, like in Vault 101, where the overseer, the original overseer for that vault, was a Vault-Tec employee, whose purpose was to completely isolate and stay isolated and keep the gene pool pure in 101, not taking into account how long they'd be down there and the deterioration of genetics from inbreeding. Even with a full like 200 or 300 people, it eventually will happen in hundreds of years if you interbreed. But as we all know from the different histories and stuff, not all, most of the vaults didn't get all of the people in, so there's no guarantee that they even had a sufficient amount to stay stable. In fact, if you play the game right, in 3, you'll get a quest where you go back into Vault 101, and you'll find that the young people are revolting and they want to go outside the vault and experience the surface and all that stuff, and the older people, like the overseer, are fighting against it, because he's still trying to follow the orders that Vault-Tec gave the overseer when they first sealed the vault, and which was, keep everything pure. And if you do it right, and you have a high enough charisma, you can actually convince him that the experiments already failed, and he'll realize that by doing what he's been doing, he's basically killing them anyway. He's killing them softly anyway from just genetics breaking down. And he'll open the vault, but to explore and make Amada the new overseer, but then she'll still ask you to leave and never come back. It's a little fucked up, but it is what it is. I play the shit out of every Fallout game that I've ever played, so. Technically, yes. All the endings can be considered canon. But at the same time, Bethesda ultimately chooses which ending makes it into the actual canon storyline. So since we don't see Enclave in here, of course we also don't hear anything about the Wasteland at all in 4, other than MacCready, and he doesn't really talk about Brotherhood of Steel other than saying that they're kind of assholes and that they are still around in the Wasteland, but he doesn't really explain. He doesn't talk about water shipments. He doesn't talk about the Purifier. He doesn't talk about the Enclave or anything like that either. The only things that you can get him to reference to are Little Lamplight and a little bit about the Brotherhood, and that's it. But we know that there's caravans going back and forth, so something happened, right? And then the Nuka-Cola girl from the 3rd one that was in Girder Shade, you run into her again in Nuka World, and you help her gather all the different things to get into get into like the maker of the inventor of Nuka-Cola's area, because she wants to try to find the Nuka-Cola recipe. So like, there's different references and different characters that come through, but they don't elaborate. But at the same time, the only Enclave element you ever find in 4 is the Exo 1 armor. The Exo 1 armor is Enclave armor. It's the armor that you first see the Enclave in the original games. So I don't know. Of course, then again, the Enclave was using experimental American tech to because they were going to be the new. They were going to make America great again, basically, without being mocking. They wanted to bring back the old America again. But then again, they also only wanted people who had never been irradiated or genetically altered at all, which would have eradicated most of the survivors, unless they were still in vaults that weren't compromised. So, yeah, I always kind of equated them to Nazis because they only wanted the pure, It's just like you don't because New Vegas is not considered to be canon. It's a shoot off, a spin off, just like 76 is. You never hear about the courier, and Mr. New Vegas, and all that stuff. You don't hear about that either. So. I'm petting my dog is why I'm not playing right now. He wants my attention and my affection. See, the Brotherhood aren't Nazis. They're more like the Spartans. Okay? The Spartans didn't care male, female, whatever, as long as you lived by the Spartan code and all that. So they're more like, no, they're not fascists. They're not fascists. They're very much like the Spartans. They're militant. There's a difference. Yeah, they'll ask you if you've had relations with ghouls, but they won't bar you from joining if you answer yes. They'll only like judge you a little bit for it. If they're complete fascists, then the minute you said that you were a traitor to your race or whatever, or didn't completely abide by their rules even in the beginning, they wouldn't take you. Because fascists want total control. The Brotherhood doesn't want total control. The Brotherhood wants order and wants to make sure that we don't blow ourselves up again. And yeah, they do it in some horrible ways, but they're not fascists. Not completely. They're more, I would say they're more militant. They're more war-based. With their rankings and all that stuff and everything. The Enclave is more fascist in the sense that of the word than the Brotherhood is. And plus, the Brotherhood has had a history of opening up to outsiders to work together and stuff like that as well. They don't care about anything other than what you can contribute to the Brotherhood. They just don't allow ghouls because, one, ghouls can't breed, okay? And two, all ghouls will eventually go feral if they lose their sense of humanity. So it's safety and hygienic and stuff like that to not have ghouls around. And you can't use Hancock as an example of a ghoul that, because Hancock was ghoulified by a drug and he's a new ghoul. Alright, dude. Have fun at school tomorrow. I'm 38, so I don't have a bedtime. I have an appointment at 1 p.m., but that means I can get up at like 11, so. You're homeschooled and you have to go to bed to go to school. Okay. None of that makes any sense, but you go and do your thing. You don't have to explain it to me. Okay. Ah, damn. Oh, you go, Preston. I used to proctor for homeschool kids. Back when I worked for Proctor U. Most of y'all were very respectful. Some of you not so much. But it depends on the household you live in, so whether or not you were taught to have manners or not. There's this one, oh, dude, I know you're probably not here anymore, but I'm gonna say it anyway. There was this one kid. Don't remember the name, don't remember what the school or anything like that, so I'm not gonna, but his parents helped him cheat, and I caught it, and that was just sad, because, I mean, it means that you don't trust your child to be bright enough to or, didn't have time enough to help them, learn what they need to learn.
Hey, up here, on the balcony. I've got
To
settlers
pass the
inside.
tests
The
and do
raiders
the
are
work
almost
and
through the door. Grab
become a
that laser
productive
musket and help
citizen.
us, please.
And you're teaching them that, cheating is okay. That not doing the work and fibbing through it, or, whatever is, what you should be doing. It irks me. Because it cheats the child. It cheats the child who's going to turn into an adult that doesn't know how to do anything. Alright, since other Derek is gone, and the only reason I kept streaming was to talk to other Derek, because I originally got on just to show off my my house build at Sanctuary. So I will talk to you guys later, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. I may or may not be on tomorrow, I don't know. Talk at you later.